My next guest is James Boretti. He's a safety, health, and environmental services consultant. You can visit him at borettiinc.com or email him at james@borettiinc.com. Welcome, James.
Good morning, Tara. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you for a Saturday morning. Not too bad out here in the valley. So it was very interesting listening to your previous guests. Very good work that Brian is talking about doing and helping out the community, especially at times like this.
So let's give our viewers a little bit of background of you and your company.
Sure, sounds good. If you're okay, I'll share a PowerPoint that I'd prepared for this that gives a little bit of that, some visuals, but we can also talk about what safety does with regard to building confidence for employees and customers alike for our businesses as they start to reopen, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And here we go. But Boretti Inc. actually is based out of Visalia, California. And what we do is actually work with a number of customers and clients in the industrial and food preparation, processing space with helping them out. So we're really all about designing and developing and integrating safety systems and risk control, and we really try to make sure that we make the safety process works within the business itself. So as you can see on the screen, this is a little bit about what we do. You can see it's only, and I say a little bit, but we've worked in Visalia and out of Visalia since 2003 and actually serve most of our clients in California, Central Valley, North, and South. But some of our clients, as you can imagine, have more of a global footprint, and so we assist them around the United States, Canada, Mexico, and work with partners in Asia and Europe to help them out. So, but yeah, that's kind of a little bit about what we do. And this morning, Tara, I just kind of wanted to share with the listeners and the people who are tuning in on this this morning that really leadership, especially at a time like this, as we're coming out of the COVID situation, of course, the unrest that's going on as well, which is definitely understandable given the events that have occurred over the last couple of weeks. And we know this has been something which has been underlying. I kind of do a Friday quote and put that up yesterday as well. But really what we're talking about here is thinking about MMP, which is really measuring to set direction, modeling to inspire others, and processing in place to map out success. At a time like this is where our small businesses, our medium-sized businesses in the Valley are really looking for guidance and what do we really do? What will help in this regard? So I prepared a graphic here that I thought might be very helpful, that when you're looking at reopening, you really want to look at preparing the spaces and really preparing your employees for what they're going to face, because the workplace is now a different place. You need to know who to communicate with and when you should do that. When should customers expect a reopening? What can they expect upon a reopening? How do you want them to interact with your employees to keep themselves safe as well as the employees themselves? And then access control, meaning, we may only use one entry in and out of our structures if we're going in and out of structures. How do we do that in a safe and good paced manner itself? And then what do we do about making sure that we reduce our touch points? How do we do our distancing, which we really like to call more along the lines of 6 feet together? So with that kind of stuff, what we're really trying to do is build, confidence into safety here so that you build sustainability with our organizations. So we've been doing an awful lot of work with this. In fact, a lot of our customers were reaching out to us in mid-April, asking us how do we help or what can we do. We were going out onto sites with them and looking at redesigning their workplaces and kind of seeing what we can do to help out both for the employees, the business, and being able to meet and exceed some of the things that county health departments had put into place. So from there, there are some things you definitely need to think of as a business owner. the keys of performing a risk analysis. That really is what determines the preventative measures that you take for being able to reopen with confidence. Training people, obviously, and what do you implement with regard to control measures, disinfecting, investigating to make sure that any incidents that might be suspected or confirmed, how you can improve going forward, or making sure that people are able to do that, and communicate, of course, from a safety standpoint. And real quick, just to kind of show you, if you're looking at people and exposure and risk, you're looking at proximity, surfaces, external interactions. If you're looking at the place itself, what are the layouts, the airflow? Don't forget about that. If you have to do travel, really consider, do you really need to do it? And think about who can really, work from home, who needs to be there at work, and what's the process we do, what are the procedures. So that kind of gives you a brief idea of some of the things that we've been facing, Tara.
Thank you for sharing. And if someone wants to reach out to you and have you help them work on their procedures and their safety standards, how can they reach you?
Yep, that's us right there that you see on the screen. Definitely, it's a way we can get going with that. I'm going to close that back out and stop sharing the screen because, I know certainly people who are tuning in to Central Valley Talk really like to see and talk to the individuals who are interacting with you. So I just thought that might be a nice little bit of an introduction as we continue our conversation here this morning.
And I know you've been working with a lot of clients virtually too because of the COVID-19 situation. And
Correct.
You've been
Correct.
Is it even more work than usual because of COVID-19?
Funny enough, it has been. I would say probably the first 2 weeks of the stay-at-home order, everybody was kind of assessing what we really were looking at. Several of our clients, as you know, in the food industry are very much engaged in the essential part of business itself. And essentially, they were asking us if we could help them out. Now, what was interesting was we actually did some live streaming and looking at some situations, so we didn't have to worry about bringing anything in. And that was great. We didn't expose anybody there. That then expanded into asking us to come onto site because we already have all the safety gear we need to make sure everybody remains safe from our, the people we've been social distancing with, plus continuing to keep that safety there. And it's been interesting. There's been a lot of innovation with a number of our clients that initially thought they might, under restrictions, be able to return back to about 65% of their work level. And now some are actually predicting even over 100% because of some of the changes they've made in their workstations, the workflow, and in looking at the output with it. Very innovative ideas. Some people have come up with these distancing curtains, so therefore if any one person should be exposed or have a confirmed COVID case, we're not losing the entire workforce. We're only ending up quarantining a few people and the company itself can continue to go. A lot of our clients too have been doing community outreach with regard to providing meals for folks. They've been making sure that they've been set up with things like this. This is an example of one of our clients asking us if we could use anything, and we have found that using headsets has been very helpful with communication and even doing a lot of interactive training online as opposed to being in person. So it's been wonderful from that standpoint.
Are there any favorite projects that you've had so far?
Oh, yes. I would say probably, I would have to say it's been around the training aspect, where some of the things that we've done, as an example, some people wanted to really focus on ergonomics, or they wanted to focus on heat illness, or they wanted to focus on prevention, that kind of thing. Or I'd say probably the favored one has been looking at electrical safety and 7DE, which those of the folks who are in facilities and maintenance and electrical, they understand what that safety criteria is. And so what we had done when we were presenting this information and training people in person, we have found actually it's a lot more fun online. we've been able to actually have more interactive classes, and people have just been thrilled with that kind of thing. So it's taught us some lessons of how we can do a better job from a virtual standpoint. And we're able to share that with our clients so they can be able to do that with their workforce, especially since some of them are looking at possibly keeping their office workers at home all the way through the end of the year. This also helps out with people who typically will have a lot of travel. Now they're able to share some lessons learned and be able to improve what they're able to do without having to physically be there in person, and still be able to keep that connection with customers, which I think is vitally important for businesses to survive.
Definitely. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end our time today?
Nope, just if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. We have a lot of free information, not a problem at all. But certainly if there's anything we can do to support you with your organization, the good work that you're doing, please let us know as well. So I look forward to a good, long relationship with you and the company and the organization that you represent.
Thank you, James. Have a good day.
Thank you, Tara. You too.
Bye.